Have you ever felt different, as if the whole world operated on one frequency and you were tuned to another? Have you noticed subtle or even blatant signs that there's something more in store for you? Something beyond routine, the ordinary, the superficial? And even amidst the chaos and doubt, have you felt a silent certainty growing within you that your existence here carries a greater purpose? Today, you are about to discover the truth hidden beyond the veils, a call whispered by the universe, inscribed in the fabric of every challenge, every inexplicable relief, every sleepless night. Today, your journey as the Chosen One begins to unfold. Over time, humanity has been divided between those who simply follow predetermined paths and those who feel an essential restlessness, something that pulses deep within, demanding answers and expansion. You who have reached this point belong to this second group. You are neither alone nor lost. You are a sign, a bearer of a divine message, a point of light amidst the shadows of illusion. You know that feeling of disconnect, like you don't belong anywhere? Since childhood, you may have noticed that deep thoughts would arise when no one was looking, that questions would invade your mind, while most seemed comfortable with silence or superficial answers. The Chosen One faces the paradox of being simultaneously unique and universal. Their difference is not a mistake, but the hallmark of their stellar origins. The call of the Chosen One is not made through audible voices, but manifests itself through omens, circumstances, and synchronicities almost impossible to dismiss as mere chance. How many times have you noticed repeating numbers on a clock, crossed paths with people who said exactly what you needed to hear, or felt an invisible force diverting your path from imminent danger? These are not accidents, but signs, fragments of a divine code programmed to activate your awakening at just the right time. The world of the Chosen is marked by trials. Just as gold only reveals its brilliance after being tested by fire, their souls, through the storms, reveal gifts that were previously dormant. The challenges that arise are not punishments, but invitations. With each pain, a new layer of power is revealed. With each fall, the reminder that the strength to rise is inscribed in their very spiritual DNA. Attacked dreams are not merely nocturnal experiences, they are battlefields where opposing forces attempt to neutralize your potential before it can fully manifest. Nightmares, a heavy feeling in the chest upon waking, encounters with nebulous entities in the early hours of the morning. All this occurs because, while you sleep, the barriers between the physical and subtle worlds loosen, and the conflict between light and shadow reaches its peak. The Chosen One's nightmare is often a rite of passage. When you awaken, remember, your fear has been tested to reveal the primal courage hidden within you, the Chosen. One's intuition is often confused with anxiety or instinct, but it goes beyond that. It's a magnet that attracts subtle signals, the compass that always points the way, even when nothing makes sense. Have you ever felt that inexplicable urge to change a decision at the last minute, only to realize later that you've avoided a problem or opened an unexpected opportunity? With each sign followed, a new door opens. Each authentic choice becomes a step toward ascension. The activation of your divine signal doesn't happen from the outside in, but from the inside out. No one, not even this video, has the power to grant or take away this light. The video serves only as a mirror, a reminder, a catalyst for a potential already inscribed within you since the dawn of time. The symptoms of activation are clear to those with eyes to see. Heightened sensitivity to environments and people, bursts of creative inspiration, vivid dreams, an urgency to break limiting patterns, a desire to care for the planet, others, and yourself. The Chosen One often feels misunderstood, but the feeling of isolation is not punishment. It is the moment of incubation, the cave where the inner gold is formed. See how many butterflies have passed through the cocoon of solitude before spreading their brilliant wings. The preparation takes place in the darkness. The brilliance is only revealed after the night has passed. Every soul marked by the divine calling carries deep wounds. They are not signs of weakness, but portals of empathy and compassion. The chosen one experiences abandonment, rejection, and doubt, only to become a balm for others traversing similar deserts. The deeper the scars, the greater the light that can shine from them. Over time, you will realize that behind every apparent loss, there was protection. Behind every delay, a redirection. Behind every feeling of loneliness, an invitation to a more intimate reunion with your own spirit, and later, with your soul tribe. Other chosen. Ones whose stories resonate as if they were chapters of the same book, pages of the same cosmic journey. The activation of the chosen ones occurs in waves. It's no coincidence that, at this very moment, thousands feel the same call: awaken, search, and seek answers. There's a greater plan unfolding beyond common mental comprehension. His entire life seemed chaotic precisely because it was being choreographed to reunite him with other awakened souls in this crucial era of humanity. You'll realize that the further you advance on your journey, the less need you feel to prove, convince, or justify yourself. The chosen one shines not to compete, but to illuminate. Their presence transforms environments, silences conflicts, and calms internal storms. True power is not noisy, but subtle and undeniable. Yes, the burden of feeling so much can be heavy, but it's also a gift. Every deep emotion, every heightened perception is raw material for healing, creation, and transformation. The chosen are not invulnerable superheroes, but deeply human beings, willing to expose their limitations so that others may find the courage to be authentic. The sign begins to appear in the chosen one's life when they are ready to align thought, word, and action. The old usually crumbles first. Relationships dissolve. Routines no longer make sense. Old passions lose their luster. It may seem like the end of the road, but it is merely preparation for the leap, the rest before the flight. When the old dies, the new begins to gestate, and the chosen one feels there is no longer any way to postpone the call. The gifts of the chosen are unique. Some heal with words, others with music, others with silence. Some see the invisible, others hear messages between the lines, others simply intuit. It doesn't matter what your tool is. The important thing is to use it to multiply light in the world. Where is your purest passion? Where does your heart beat strongest? There lies the channel through which your mission will be empowered. When you understand the enormity of your calling, it's natural to fear the responsibility. But remember, the burden will never be greater than your strength. You came prepared long before incarnating into this existence. Each cycle, each challenge overcome, is a sign that you are ready to climb another step. The eyes of your soul have begun to open, and now you will never be the same. Don't seek recognition outside. The applause of crowds will not satisfy the hunger of the spirit. True applause is the silence that echoes after the courage to follow one's path, even when no one understands. The chosen one finds contentment in the authenticity, in the coherence, in the peace of those who honor their journey. Allow yourself to trust the signs. That unlikely coincidence, that book that falls from a shelf, that song that arrives at just the right time, that animal that suddenly appears in your path. Every detail can be a divine code designed to remind you that you are guided, supported, and oriented. No matter how much society tries to homogenize everything, industrialize feelings, and standardize spirituality, you came to break the mold. You are a spark in the darkness, a key cog in a much larger machine. Your existence is the signal, and by assuming this role, you become a beacon for those who still walk in the shadows. When you doubt yourself, turn to inner silence. The world screams, demands, suffocates. But true calling manifests itself in the space between one thought and another, in the gaps of presence, in the pauses charged with meaning. Listen to your innermost breath. It doesn't lie. It doesn't care about external opinions. It doesn't negotiate with fear. Each chosen one goes through a cycle of death and rebirth. You die to old versions of yourself because you need to be reborn more authentic, more aligned and wiser. The tears that fell on lonely nights watered seeds of power that sprout now when you least expect it. If everything seems dark, remember, darkness has no life of its own. It is the absence of light. And when a single candle is lit, the entire room is transformed. You don't need to dispel all the shadows. Just take their place and proclaim the luminous nature of your being. Don't be afraid to be different. Be afraid to pass through this life without leaving a trace of light for those who come after. The signal intensifies more and more. You will be called to break alliances, to escape the automatic, to question inherited truths, to reinvent the way you see the world and yourself. This process is not smooth, but it is liberating. For each chain that falls, a new possibility reveals itself. Many will try to convince you that it's dangerous to leave the line. They will resist awakening because it requires them to change as well. Don't fuel debate. Choose to be an example. The chosen ones don't debate. They radiate. They don't convince. They inspire. Their very presence is the message. With each step, confidence grows. You'll realize that your journey is not a solitary one. Similar souls have felt the same calling, undergone the same initiations, and will somehow cross your path. Soul encounters are recognized at the first exchange of glances, the first shared word, the comfortable silence we only share with those who already know us from other lifetimes. The chosen one's mission is not to save the world alone, nor to sacrifice themselves for humanity. Their mission is to be whole, complete, authentic, to connect with the divine within themselves and, through resonance, activate that frequency in everything and everyone around them. The entire planet is affected each time a chosen one awakens, and from that awakening, the potential that was incubated begins to overflow. This journey begins within you. Latent gifts begin to emerge when you feel a pleasant restlessness, something that challenges, excites, and at the same time, frightens. Fear is merely a guardian of the door. Step through it with courage, and on the other side you will see a new world opening up, colored by the presence of the divine in matter, of purpose in action, of trust in uncertainty. Every transformation begins with a sign. Maybe this video is yours. Maybe it's just another reminder of something you already knew deep down. But the synchronicity that brought you here wasn't mere chance. You're ready to activate what you came here to activate. Allow yourself to honor your roots. Celebrate your uniqueness and rewrite history. The signal has been given. Now it's your turn to light the torch of truth and illuminate the next steps, not only for your personal salvation, but also to activate a wave of awakening unprecedented in this era. Take a deep breath now. Feel the invisible presence that accompanies you. No matter how small your spark seems in the face of the storms, remember, every great flame begins with a whisper of light. You are not small. You are infinite, multidimensional, carrying the same fire that ignites stars, moves seas, and awakens forgotten worlds. Today, repeat to yourself, I accept my calling. I allow my essence to shine. I am the chosen one, not because I am better, but because I am whole. And in that recognition, everything changes. The ordinary becomes sacred. The everyday is transfigured into a miracle, and no step of your journey will go unnoticed by the universe. Be faithful to the sign. Choose to trust, even if you don't see everything yet. Trust is the force that activates miracles, and courage is the bridge that unites the visible and invisible worlds. Walk firmly, celebrate your silent victories, embrace your shadows, for every part of you is the raw material for your mission. The signal amplifies when shared. When you advance, others advance. When you heal, others find hope. When you believe, the entire network grows stronger. Nothing happens by chance. Nothing is lost. You are the signal, and you are also the chosen one to radiate this frequency to the world. The silence, the doubt, the falls were preparations. Now it's time to rise whole, conscious, activated. Remember, with every dark night, the universe prepares the chosen to be the dawn. And sooner or later, all signs converge on the final revelation. You always were, are, and will be an essential part of the divine plan of existence. Trust, move forward, shine. The signal has already been sent. Now, awakening is your choice.